Question is that this House has considered British nationals detained overseas. Daniel Kawczynski.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ali, for calling me in this debate. And I very much agree with the Honourable Lady in her comments that how our country supports and treats its citizens overseas when they are in distress, particularly in prisons, is a very important issue. And I congratulate her on securing this very important debate. I'm just going to speak very briefly on behalf of my constituent, Saiful Chowdhury, who is a leading member of the Muslim community in Shrewsbury and does a great deal to support our mosque in Shrewsbury. Saiful Chowdhury has contacted me because his two cousins, Murad Rahman and Yadur Rahman, were both at the airport in Dubai in February 2023 when they were trying to secure a wheelchair for their elderly mother. They were traveling with their elderly mother and children as a family on holiday in Dubai. They tried to secure a wheelchair for their elderly mother because she had difficulties in walking. And the staff were very unhelpful, very rude, and confrontational with them. Unfortunately, this led to a verbal confrontation between these two British citizens and airport staff, and it has resulted in them being convicted to a 6-month jail sentence. Of course, unfortunately, well, obviously now they are appealing, and they are forced, their passport has been stamped with the stamp which prevents them from leaving the United Arab Emirates, and therefore they are in a hotel at their own expense. They have spent thousands and thousands of pounds already since February 2023 in accommodation, whilst they await for their court process to be concluded. The reason I'm raising this particular case with the Minister, and he is a very good Minister, a very responsive Minister, and I'd like him to take a particular interest in this case. The reason why I feel compelled to raise it with him are because of some of the allegations that have been put forward in terms of no CCT evidence being presented to the court in this case, where the defendants are very keen for that to be shown, to demonstrate that the altercation was purely verbal rather than physical in any way. And yet the authorities refuse to allow CCT evidence from the embassy, from the airport. That is the allegation. And the other concern that they have raised is that the repeated refusal of the Emirati authorities to facilitate ongoing and effective dialogue and communication between the defendants and our British embassy officials, and indeed also their lawyers. And, of course, my concern is the length of time this has taken to date. The Honourable Lady mentioned the United Arab Emirates as being one of our closest partners in the Middle East. I would go further. I would say it is the closest British ally in the Middle East. And we have very extensive commercial and political links with the Emiratis. I'm extremely concerned to hear of this case, and I will be giving the Minister the details of this to his Parliamentary Private Secretary. I would be extremely grateful if the Minister would look into this case. I will be sending a copy of the link to this debate to our British Ambassador in the United Arab Emirates, and I'd be extremely grateful to the Minister for any support he may be able to give to Mr. Saiful Chowdhury, my constituent, who was obviously clearly extremely concerned as to the welfare of his cousins and the impact it's having not just on them, but on their elderly relatives and children who have obviously come back to the United Kingdom and are separated from their loved ones. Thank you.